we have demonstrated how to create the page. A new page has been created, where we've added functionality to save new customers and display existing ones. Additionally, we've included several controls on the page, such as a text box, button, checkbox, and other buttons. We have used a mix of framework controls and standard HTML controls. There are also other possibilities we can achieve with the page, such as adding child dialogues that open on the page and display on the UI. These dialogues will disable the background, allowing you to complete tasks within the dialog itself. Once the dialog is closed, you will receive an event to trigger certain actions. It's up to the user who is developing the page how they create the functionality of that page. Then another option is using the CFrame. CFrame is basically an option where we can create a page or call an existing page, which will provide us with a kind of UI. It can also open a new page in the taskbar itself as a new menu item, and then you can use it as a separate page. It will not block your UI. It will open as a separate page. What we will do is first go through the child dialog, and then we will explore how the CFrame can be used. To do that, I will create a new button here. Let's call it the Dialog button, and provide an ID to this Dialog button. It is recommended that you use a prefix for your controls, particularly for the IDs. The ID should include your prefix, followed by an underscore, and then the $self.window number. This approach ensures that the IDs do not conflict with other control IDs, especially when opening them within the framework or tool with other modules or standard framework controls. Since it's a single-page application, all the jQuery and other resources are loaded on a single page load. All these IDs should be used with your prefix and the window number. Here, this ID is defined as a class, and I will use the same class. This is the button class where we have defined the margins for the buttons, and this value represents the message or text that will be displayed on the UI. Again, you need to pick this from the message screen as well, because we support different cultures. Based on the login language, you will see this message or this button text. Better you use it like this. Let us say dialog like this, and then this dialog button. I will declare this variable over here for this dialog button. Here it is, the dialog button, and then we will bind the event for this $self.dialog button.on click function event for this. And here, what we will do is we will use the timeout function, set timeout, and here, function, and here we will create one child dialog. For that, we have this new object of this vis.child dialog. This is a class that is available in the framework itself, vis.child dialog. In this child dialog, you have to set the content or the design that you want to have in this pop-up. Right now, for your reference, I am just adding a div over here. You can add your own controls in the pop-up as well. It is up to you what kind of UI you want to have in this pop-up. But for now, I will just show you how this child dialog opens and how it displays onto the UI. Background, let us say, color is green. And close this, and again, close this div. I have just appended a div in this child dialog. You can create controls into this. You can create the grid in this. It is up to you what you want to see in this. Set height. You have to define the height for your child dialog. What is the height that you want to see for the child dialog? Again, height and width. Let us say, width, I want it to be 650 pixels wide. And set title. You can set the title which displays on the top. I will again pick it from the message screen. Let us say, message. Get message. Message screen. Let us say, customer dialog. It will pick this from the message screen if the entry is there. It has to be with the prefix. Otherwise, if it is already available into this framework, you can reuse that. Set modal, and then ch.onClose. It will provide you an event when you close this child dialog. You can fetch certain values from the child dialog and use it in the main page from where we are opening the child dialog. It is up to our requirement how we want to use it. Let us say t is equals to 0, just to check whether this close function works. ch.show. Then we will display the child dialog and ch.hide buttons. By default, this child dialog has OK and cancel buttons. It's up to us whether we want to see those buttons or not. Here, I will just build this code and refresh my page. This is the page that we were working on. We haven't amended, as we don't see the dialog button here. We have not appended that a button into the div. I'll go back to my code again. We have added it over here and didn't append into the div. I'll append this button as well. Append $self.dialog button. Now it is appended into this div button section, and then this is appended into the left-hand side. It's paired. Now I refresh the page. Again, now I'll open this customer details page. We have this button now. As you can see, there are these square brackets with this dialog text. It is because this is not there in the message screen for the culture implementation. Once you do the entry in the message screen, you will see this as a translated text. Now when I click on this, as you can see, this is the header that we have defined for this as a customer dialog over here. And then this is the content area where we have appended this div over here, like this. This is how you can create a child dialog. If I just open the console, this add customer. When I close this, as you can see, this event is triggered on close. When this pop-up is closing, you can some values and set somewhere onto this page and use your functionality accordingly. And in the close section, you can define that again. When I close this and go back to my code here, let's say if I comment these lines, build this now. If I refresh it, I should be able to see those OK and cancel buttons onto the pop-up, which is by default there. You can use those buttons if you don't want to add your own buttons onto that child dialog. Let's see how that looks like onto the child dialog. I have just refreshed. When I click on this over here, the div that we have added, it is over there, and then this is OK and cancel button. You can close it from here as well. That is how the child dialog works. You can create the child dialog on the page. It will block the background. You won't be able to do anything in the background until this child dialog is open. Based on that, this is how you can create the child dialogs into the system, in the framework, for your modules. Next, another feature on the page is the CFrame that we discussed in the last topic as well. How the CFrames can be used on the page, let us go through with that. If I go back to my code, we have this save button and a dialog button that we have discussed in the earlier topics. What we will do is we will add one more button over here for the frame button, the CFrame. So what I will do is I'll add this frame button over here, and I'll name this ID as a frame button. After changing the ID over here, we'll change the label for the button, let's say frame. After providing this label to the button, the frame button, we'll add a variable for this like the other two buttons. What we'll do here is this .frame button equals to null, initialize this, and then we'll append this button to our button section. .frame button. And this is already appended into this left-hand side section of our page. Afterwards, what we'll do is we'll just bind an event, the click event, onto this button, frame button .onClick, comma, function like this, and here we'll use set timeout, .set timeout function, And here, there are a lot of pages that are already available into the framework, and moreover, you can have your own pages which you can open into this CFrame. As I mentioned, the CFrame will open the pages as a different taskbar item. So, what we'll do is, we have a functionality for the email. Let me just show you. If I open, let's say, Customer Master, in the Customer Master screen on the right-hand side, for all the screens, there are configurable actions against the screens. Here, you can go to our Customer Master screen. In this right-hand side action, we have this email. When I click on this email page is open, and in the taskbar, you see a taskbar item for this email. So, what I'll do is, I'll close this, and from our page, from this frame button, we will open that page from the dialog, from the frame button. We have added an event for this, the frame button. On click of it, we'll add or try to open the page of this email. So, email equals to new vis.email. There is a class name in the framework itself, and here we have a few parameters for this. The first one is the to email, let's say onfinity@gmail.com. The second parameter is the object of the current tab. I just want to open this email page as in the CFrame. I'll pass this parameter as null for now, just to show you how these forms or pages can be opened. So, this third parameter is the current grid controller object, and then we can pass the record ID, let's say 0 as for now, and then is email. Whether this is an email page, let's say true, or is a window page, let's say false, or maybe you can pass true for now, and then the table ID, let's say 100, and record ID, let's say 100. And after that, we will create an object of CFrame. Say vis.cframe, like this, and then in the CFrame, .setName, the header of that is vis.message.getMessageEmail. And then we'll set the title for this. I will display on the header title as email. And this frame.hide header false, as we want to display the headers as well. And then cframe.setContent as this email variable that we have declared. And afterwards, cframe.show, which will display the CFrame, and then this email object.initialize component, as there has to be these functions like initialize component, root, and we have these pages, like email, which should have these standard functions available in that page. Now, we are done with our configuration, or the code that we want for the CFrame. So, what we will do is, I'll just build the code. It succeeded, and then I'll just refresh the link. And then from the menu, we'll open that customer details page. As you can see, we have this button over here for the frame as well. One thing we need to add in this timeout option as well, let's say a few milliseconds, so that we can allow this page to open. Let's build the code again and refresh this page. Now, we will click on this frame button. As you can see, this email page opens up where this to email is set based on the parameter that we have passed from the frame code on the button click. So, this is how you can open the different pages in the CFrame, where you will get the header of that particular page, like this. You can also hide the headers as well, as it will hide this header from your email page and will not display over here. It is based on these parameters that we are passing to open this particular page from the CFrame. We have seen the pages which we opened from the menu. Now, there is another form of pages which are open from a screen on a button click. For that, we can link the pages on the button on a particular screen. So, how we can achieve that? What I will do is, I will create a column on the Customer Master screen from where we can open the page. If I show you the Customer Master screen now, here we will have a button like this. From this button, we will open the page. To add a button on the page, what I will do is I will just log in with my system credentials. It is showing that password expired for my account. Now, I will just reset my password. We are logged in now, and from the menu, I will open the database schema, where we will create the column in the table. Then, in the table section, I hope we already know how we can create a column in the table. C_B partner is our table name. In the column, I will create a new column. Let us say VA001 underscore customer details. I have already this column element with me. If it is not available, based on your module prefix, you need to add the column element. Customer details, say page to display customer details, and add new customer as well. Just a column description and comments as well. So, I will keep it the same as of now, and length 1, reference as a button, and in the page section, I will link the same page that we are opening from the menu. Save this, and once this record is saved, after that, I will just sync this column to the database. This column is added, so after adding the column, we need to create the field on the screen from where we can open this page. I will go to the screen configuration. We have the screen composer as well, from where we can do this. But right now, I will go to the screen configuration, and here, I will search for my screen. That is, Customer Master. This is the new layout screen, Customer Master. In the tab, on the header tab, that is Customer, I will add a field, new one, toggle this, and let us say Customer Details. Column as Customer Details. I will provide a length, display length as 9, and save it. So, we have added a column, synced that column into the database, linked the page on the column, then we have created a field for that. We have done some changes in the AD side. I will just do the cache reset, close this, and now log out, and log in with my tenant credentials. This password also expired. I will reset this as well, and we are logged into the system. In the Customer Master screen, if we go to our Customer Master screen, and on one of the records, by default, the column that we have added, it is added at the bottom of the screen. You can reset the sequence of this particular button where you want to have it, like this one. So, what I will do is, when I click on this button, it will open the page. As you can see, this page is open now from the button that is available on the screen. Now, what is the difference? The basic difference between a page opening from a button or a page that is opening from a menu? So, the basic difference is at the code level. Now, from the menu, when Framework calls this init function, it opens the page as a new taskbar menu as well. But when you are opening this page from a button on a screen, it will open it as a pop-up. Moreover, you get the particular record ID from where you are opening that page. Now, how we can retrieve that? If we check here, what we can do is we can fetch this record ID over here. I will just add a variable, record ID equals to 0. And when we are setting this, let us say this .record ID is equals to 0. And here, we will be getting the record ID in this frame parameter. This .record ID equals to frame get record underscore ID, like this. And what we can do is, in the initialize, I can display that so that we get to know, alert, or we will debug it. Here, underscore ID equals to $self.record ID. So, let us see where we are going to get this record ID. The benefit of getting this record ID is you can display the data onto the page, which is opening from this button, You can display the data according to the record ID. You can fetch the data for a particular record and display the corresponding data. For that particular record only, it is up to your requirement, how you can achieve this, and what exactly is your requirement from the page. So, when I refresh this, let us see how we get this record ID. We will debug it, and we will open the console as well. The sources section, I will put a breakpoint over here. On this tab, we have added this button. When I click on this customer details, this init function is called. This frame has this get table ID, window ID, and get record ID. In the record ID, you will get the record ID of this particular record, that is 1008981. Let us just confirm. 1008981. Based on that record ID, you can design your page and display the corresponding data onto this particular page. Here, we check the record ID. That is 1008981. That is how you can use this record ID. How you can create the pages that we can open from the menu. How you can create the pages that we can link to a particular button on the screen. And also, we have seen how the child dialog pages are created, how the CFrames are created. So based on that, you can design your UI for the pages and link to the menu or the buttons. That is up to your requirement, how you want to achieve this functionality. That concludes this session. Thank you for attending.